What's something your employer did that instantly messed up employee morale? No raises or bonuses this year due to company performance, but I will make it up to you by taking the whole company to the lake for a trip on my new 30-foot boat. Banned smartphones in the break room to force us to talk to one another and build camaraderie. Ends up we didn't like each other that much. In a very short span of time, they changed everyone's 401k plan for worse, and then implemented an office-wide cleanliness policy. No eating at your desk. Only 3 personal items on your desk. Everything labeled. No items other than your keyboard, mouse, and monitors on your desk at the end of the day. Large factory, not unionized. Each department clocks in at a different place, mainly that department's break room. My department clocked in across the facility from the main entrance, which meant it took about 15 minutes to walk from the front door to where you clocked in and out at, and another 5 to walk from that entrance to the parking lot. There was a side exit that we would use, however, that literally cut that walk down from 20 minutes to 3, since our department was right next to the parking lot. Management decided that all employees must enter and exit through the same door, which meant we had to walk all the way down to the main entrance and then back around to our cars. There was so much rebellion from the employees in our department that they had to bar the door shut with 2 X4s. Jokes on them, even unionized employees can be a pain in the A. We contacted the fire marshal, who upon seeing a fire exit barricaded, fined the company $8,000. We still were not allowed to enter through this door, but they stopped trying to stop us. To cut costs, they started a policy that only certain departments had internet access. It basically started a class system that bred resentment across departments and caused an exodus from the non-internet teams. In a company of 6 people, owner said in a meeting with everyone that his 2 sales guys are irreplaceable and that the rest of us are just paper pushers. He now runs a company of 3 people. We were once in the middle of a very stressful period of work, and everyone was feeling it. However, one afternoon, an offhand comment turned into a conversation that we all got involved with and led to a few laughs. My manager, returning from a meeting, piped up, "Oh, we've finished tomorrow's work, have we? What's all this about? Insert subject matter." Entire team instantly deflated. Unnecessary. Every employee needs time to blow off a little steam. Former teacher. The administrators at my school were usually pretty chill, but had a habit of randomly coming up with minor rules that they would enforce for us. Male teachers had to wear ties even on Jeans Day, etc. Overall it wasn't bad, except for the time an administrator made a crucial mistake. They banned staff from drinking coffee in front of students. Now if you've never worked in a school, you'd think this isn't a big deal. When you spend nearly 100% of your day in front of students, it definitely is a big deal. First we tried to find any loophole we could. Energy drinks? Banned the next week. Tea? Banned 2 days later. It was chaos. Eventually, we realized they couldn't fire an entire school's worth of teachers and aides, so we ended up doing the one thing that private schools fear most. We formed a union. Realistically, it was more of a weird pseudo-union focused specifically on civil disobedience regarding the coffee issue, but it ruffled feathers nonetheless. The administrators caved to our demands, allowed us to drink coffee again, and even bought each of us a reusable coffee mug as a gesture of goodwill. And that's the story of how a handful of school administrators almost accidentally created a teachers union over a complete non-issue. Casually said the best employee was X, and everyone, including X, knew that X was among those who did the least amount of work. Edit. X was the most friendly to the boss, always coming in to say hi, "Do you need anything?" Fired the girl who was in her 3rd trimester of pregnancy 3 days before her maternity leave was to start. My wife was let go after she announced her pregnancy to her manager and approximately when she would need maternity leave. She was told that they'd rather replace her than deal with a pregnant employee, and all that goes with that. A well-worded letter from our attorney got her 1 year's severance and 2 years medical coverage for her and the baby. Told a bunch of people they were going to be promoted to get us to do extra work. No one got promoted. I basically did her job for a month. Me and 3 of my co-workers quit, and she got fired a few months later. Started firing people by lining 2 up at a time and seeing which one they prefer to keep on. Didn't matter if you were there for 20 years or 2. Also hiring management from outside and not promoting within, which means the new managers have no knowledge of anything that company does in terms of ethics, procedures, or employee status. It has turned this clique type environment into every person for themselves. Very toxic. Dennis the day manager asked for anonymous feedback on how things were going in the company, then let slip in an all hands meeting that he didn't like something I'd written in my feedback. Destroyed what little trust anybody had in him. Also, at another place, management basically dealt with client complaints / demands using the make them stop by immediately promising whatever they ask for method. This was super helpful to the people actually doing the work, since most of the complaints were clients wanting a bunch more scope added to their project for free or within the original delivery time frame, and they'd already been told it was impossible by everyone else. I work in a hotel with a continental breakfast. We offer fruit and whatnot in there. One morning I grabbed a banana for my coworker and myself. It was one of those taboo things everyone did. GM saw me and I assumed was all good. Next day I'm written up for theft. When I told coworker I was then almost written up again and told I wasn't allowed to discuss it. After that pretty much everyone was on edge. Card free coffee / tea in the break room. Employees had to start pooling their money to stock coffee and tea / sugar, and then the subsequent drama when anyone who didn't contribute to the fund helped themselves to a cup of coffee. I worked at an amusement park which has a creek running through it. I work specifically in the campground gift shop, and one day there was a few days of nothing but downpours, so the park flooded, not uncommon, and they closed the entire park. The entire park except for the campground gift shop. They sent nobody to help, and since it was the only place open, the surprising amount of insane campers who decided to camp during torrential downpours poured into the not so big store, and it was absolute chaos for the entire day. Instead of asking other employees who were sent home, my boss had the nerve to ask me if I'd stay longer. I was already working 50 to 60 hour weeks. About 5 years ago I worked for this small electronics recycling and refurbishing place. The pay was shit, but the work was easy and fun. I was the main repair tech, my coworkers were cool, and we were mostly left the hell alone to do our jobs in peace. Well, the owner decided to move us into this brand new fancy building and revamp the whole operation. They called us all into a meeting one day and handed us all employee handbooks. There was this laundry list of new rules, including we now had to wear company issued shirts and could no longer wear jackets cause it might cover up the company logo. These shirts were scratchy and ill-fitting, inaccurate sizing, and the shirts were clearly made for men's. They took away our comfy chairs and gave us all metal folding chairs. Like, literal metal folding chairs. Us ladies had to carry our stuff in clear purses now, which we would have to pay for, and all employees would have to submit to random searches, even of our vehicles, if the boss desired. I guess theft of old broken cell phones was an actual problem. They installed cameras every few feet to watch us, along with a metal detector at the entrance. Cause you know, we were thieves and all. No more personal cell phones in the building cause apparently they couldn't tell the difference between our phones with service, personal data, and cases from the 5 to 8 year old broken phones in the testing bins, and we could be stealing. No more personal items on desks, because the boss wanted our desks to be uniform and us to have the ability to sit at any desk and work, and wanted the testing room to look good in case he ever brought potential clients in, which never happened. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. New videos every day. Check out our playlist.